Mondo Cool! That's right, boys. Mondo Cool.
Dragon's Lair for the Xbox 360 Live Arcade is a port of the timeless classic arcade game. In it, you control Dirk the Daring, who navigates an extremely treacherous castle to save a beautiful, perky, braless princess. It must be a little bit on the cold side inside the Dragon's Lair. I'm sorry, but I could not help but notice that the first time I made it to the end of the game. So there's already that little bit of incentive for you to see your way through this game. I've never actually played Dragon's Lair before, and I think this is one of those games that, because of its place in history in the subgenre of Laserdisc QuickTime event style games, is a must-play. I think everybody should experience this game, and, you know, just to see what you think. And if all else, enjoy the gorgeous animation. If you find the game to be very frustrating, you can hop into the menus and just watch the game play through itself. However, you'll be missing out on the wonderful and amazing death animations. It's a little bit morbid and macabre, but I had a fun time watching all the ways Dirk the Daring could die, and believe me, there are a lot. Each room has multiple ways for you to fail miserably, and I would recommend going through and dying every way that you can just to see the different bits of animation. When you do play through the game going for a score, it's challenging. There are instances where you have to be lightning fast perfect to hit the button in time. So much so to the point that I don't think it's possible for you to do it on your first playthrough. You have to go through the game multiple times and memorize it. I had a great time playing through this a couple of times the day that I got it. There's definitely reason to go through the game multiple times. Like I said, watching the death sequences is great. Perfecting it and trying to get a perfect game is going to be a challenge. The few times that I've gone through the game, I've noticed that you do go through a couple of rooms multiple times, but it will be mirrored. So that adds to the challenge. If you get to the same room and you think it's going to be exactly the same, everything's flip-flop. So you have to press left and right to swap, and that can be a little challenging the first time you come across it. If you're the type of gamer that cares about achievements, there are a couple that are extremely easy and a few that are extremely tricky. You get an achievement for playing the game on the game's anniversary, which is June 19th, and I made myself a little note so that I can fire up the game next month and get that achievement, since it's an easy one. You get one for turning on the arcade border, which, if you're a purist and you want to see your video in the correct aspect ratio, it's nice that they included that arcade background and you can appreciate the animation in its original aspect ratio and not miss anything. The normal gameplay is widescreen, which means they more than likely had to do a little bit of pan and scanning and zoom in and crop the top and bottom. So if you're a purist, it's nice that the developers included that, and hey, you get an achievement for turning it on. The more difficult achievement that I noticed is going through the game with the on-screen cues turned off, and I imagine that will be a trial in patience and being just very extremely difficult and perhaps a little bit frustrating. But another feature that the developers threw into this version of the game is the ability to save. So if you are trying to go through the game with the on-screen prompts turned off, you can save your progress and come back to it a later day, because I imagine it taking a little bit of time trial and erroring your ways through the game without the on-screen cues. The Xbox 360's D-pad is perhaps not the best D-pad in the world for this game. I only felt this a few times where the button presses came in rapid succession that I was being thrown off just a touch by the 360's D-pad. I think some other systems' D-pads would have handled this a lot better. Something I did not get the ability to test is Kinect support. If you have a Kinect, this game will work work with it, although if the D-pad isn't responsive and quick enough, I can't see arm flailing and whacking being that responsive either. But if you have a Kinect and you've picked up Dragon's Lair or are going to pick up Dragon's Lair, let me know. I'm curious how that works out. Overall, I think this game is a timeless classic. I'm glad I finally got to play it. It's one of those things that I think everybody should experience just because of its importance in the history of arcade gaming. I definitely understand how this game would not be for everyone, as it boils down to basically being just nothing but quick time events. However, the beautiful animation is totally worth it, and being able to sit back and just watch the game play by itself is very nice. Watching it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing through this game multiple times, and I look forward to firing it up on June 19th and getting that extra achievement.
Whoa!